We're keeping across everything that's going on back in the UK, and this certainly caught our eye out here, hence Simon and I will throw it around for the next few minutes or so. Manchester United are set to receive in excess of £10 million, Simon, after agreeing a deal with Amazon Prime to document Michael Carrick's inaugural season as head coach. The club will become the latest top-flight side to provide behind-the-scenes access for the All or Nothing documentary series. So what happens in this instance is that the club, from start to finish in a season, open its door to Amazon Prime and they film virtually what they like. And that makes us cast our mind back to when Arsenal did it. And Mikel Arteta was front and centre of the coverage of that, especially when he described the moment that he decided, Aubameyang, yeah, you're no longer my captain. Do you remember it?
Okay, I have to announce you something. Following the last disciplinary issue that we had with Oba and the consequences that I decided to take not to involve him in the game, I thought carefully, myself and the club, what was the next step. And we have decided as a club that he is no longer our captain. So you should know that. The other decision is that for now, he's not involved in the squad.
So that was
shivers down my spine.
Come on, that was Arteta way back when, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when he said, Aubameyang, no, you're stripped of the armband. You cannot deny, though, Simon, can you, that they do bring a different insight at a football club?
Yeah, they do, and I've never debated that. Now, whether it's a real legitimate, absolutely authentic dance through what happens, because we saw situations. We saw Danny Rose going into the manager's office and having a conversation with Jose Mourinho. I can tell you, as did Danny Murphy, that when players and managers have altercations, paint comes off walls. It doesn't come in the way that was illustrated. So I think what you get in that situation, Arteta was a master in engineering, orchestrating a set of content that suited him wonderfully, because he came out of it with a very different perspective. The fact that he dealt with Aubameyang, listen, when you deal with players that have stepped across a line, it's a far more robust way of that. I mean, players are half asleep listening to that. There was no great big drum roll and dun 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 dun. Aubameyang's not playing anymore, but because it's something that we've always had a view on in terms of everything is sacrosanct, everything is behind a wall. You mustn't go in the dressing room. There's so much in the dressing room. There's nothing going on in the dressing room. Most of the time, it's a load of old nonsense in the dressing room. So you're breaking down barriers, and people are seeing things for the first time, and they're seeing it differently. Which is good. And I have no issue with that. But if you're asking me, do I believe it's steeped in authenticity? Do I believe it's part of an entertainment package that looks like it's showing something, but really is only showing what it really wants? Are Man United going to really take him in the boardroom? Take him in the boardroom and let the directors talk about the players the way the directors often do. Let him talk about how they deal with agents. Let them talk
that would be good.
But they won't. That's my point. So what you're seeing is a synthesised version of things, and you're getting more insight than you had before, and I have no issue with it. And actually, I see the merits of it. If someone's going to give you 10 million quid for old rope, then let them have it. Because you're in an entertainment business. Show the world what you want them to see most of the time. I guarantee you're not going to see too many things in that create a situation where you go, well, that's bleeding chaos. Those guys couldn't find their backsides with both hands in a funnel. You're not going to see any of that. You'll just see a sort of, it's a bit like a chairman going down the training ground, a bit like the king, and then always smelling new paint. Is this how it always is? Yes, chairman. Walk around the corner, they're putting a nasty sign behind your back.
No, but having said all that, in your day, you would have been perfect for it. The man at the top of Crystal Palace, Simon Jordan, making his decisions. What do you think of him? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? It would have been perfect.
But you're never going to see that. And if you want to see the nuts and bolts, because football now, it depends what people want to see. And the fact that
I think they want to see that.
The fact that the audience, indeed, I hear you, the audience figures will dictate. And I think one of the best ones was Drive to Survive, which was the F1 one, where it showed you a far more visible side of things. And because you're seeing, when you hear things, like in F1, we're hearing the communication from the pits to the drivers, and you can hear the language and the arguments going on, and you get no sanitisation there.
Right.
In football, it's different. But as far as the public are concerned, they'll keep on making these things if people keep on watching them.
Well, interestingly, Simon, Ruben Amorim said no thanks to Amazon Prime when they came calling. So with Carrick trying to make it work at Manchester United now that he's got the job full-time, It's a time of major rebuild for Carrick. Is it the right moment to let the cameras in, as far as he's concerned?
Well, it's funny how they do it with newbie managers, isn't it, a lot of the time? Yeah. With newbie managers that don't have quite the cachet. I mean, Mourinho was different because he can't help it. He's a moth to the light, isn't he? But you've got situations where Arteta was a young manager. And to some extent, he was happy to see himself elevated into a position of authoritarian, because out of that came the backdrop of the board backing him to get rid of Aubameyang, and all of a sudden he was elevated. Carrick would be better served learning his trade, because he's got a difficult season in front of him. Forget whatever he had last year and how Carrick carried the torch and how the players wanted to play for him, because Amorim was such a nightmare. Now he's got the real opportunity to be a Man United manager, and he's going to do it, to some extent, in the full glare.
Well, he is.
That's why it's going to be sanitised.
Because they're letting them in.
It's going to be reduced into a compartment package that suits Man United. They are not going to give, as you described, Amazon carte blanche. Go ahead, film a player on a toilet, do what you want. They're not going to do it.
Filming by Prime Video will begin this summer, with All or Nothing Manchester United launching in the summer of 2027 in 240 countries. That's why they're doing it. And they get 10 million richer in the process.